Okay, Dylan's hanging with me because we want to get to our own Peyton Yager, who has been doing some just incredible work down there on the ground in the zone. And Peyton, I understand you are actually in Camp Mystic.
Hi, Casey. Hi, Dylan. We are at Camp Mystic, and I know the city manager just mentioned they are going to do everything they can to find these girls. At the last update, 11 missing campers and 1 counselor here from Camp Mystic. We are just along the shoreline of the Guadalupe River. Behind me, it is all hands on deck, cleaning, finding information here at Camp Mystic. I'm going to move out of the way because we do have the side of this building here on the Camp Mystic grounds was completely washed away, and you can see those troopers in front. Also, if you see people in ponchos, it is raining off and on here in Hunt, Texas today, so making those search and recovery efforts harder. So we do have that building. I mean, it's right up against the river, so you're just imagining in the middle of the night, like Dylan mentioned, that water rushing down this river. But we do have some girls that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes who are from North Texas. Their families are here in Kirk County, and they are getting that devastating news that those little girls' bodies were found. And there's also families here who have not received any information. Again, 11 missing girls from Camp Mystic and 1 counselor. All of those are unaccounted for. Again, it's all hands on deck. It's devastating to see. We have people here, employees, we have first responders here at Camp Mystic, there were trunks. I'm a girl, we went to camp, we decorated trunks. We were so excited. So we were, they were pulling trunks that were close to the river. And then we also have people who are taking stuff out of what looks like cabins, their buildings. So we've seen them pulling out mattresses, anything to identify these little girls. So what we know, what I've been covering and talking with these North Texas families as my photographer, pans around and on social media, if you know Lila Bonner and Eloise Peck, they are best friends. They're from Dallas. They came to Camp Mystic together. They did not survive the floodwaters. They were going into the 3rd grade, attending Bradfield Elementary and Highland Park ISD. I know Highland Park ISD and University Park up there in Dallas. They are deeply hurting tonight. Also, I want to mention 9-year-old Janie Hunt of Dallas. She died. Her family confirmed to Fox 4 yesterday. And we know there are other North Texas families and so many families who are just waiting for answers. I'm going to have my photographer pan here to the left a little bit, if you can, just to show, this way, I'm so sorry, just to show the river that came through and just blew over these trees. And we've seen men who are searching along this shoreline. I do not know who they are. I do not know if they're first responders or associated with the camp, but there's this man in the light blue who has been going up and down the riverbank since we have arrived, just looking for anything. And I'll just add an anecdote. Yesterday, we were in Kerrville and then Ingram, so today we made the trip up to Hunt, where Camp Mystic is, and the damage up here is extensive. I mean, you can really see where that rushing water was raging downstream. And last update from Governor Abbott is, I'm being told that this man does have a badge. Okay, so we've been told that there are first responders that are going up and down this river just trying to search for any information. But like Governor Abbott said earlier last night, and first responders earlier today, this is a challenging recovery effort. It's an incredible amount of debris. There's trees that are blown down. We saw furniture and cars wrapped in the trees. Boulders. My photographer and I took a little bit of a trek for us to get up here. Yeah, I do see that man has a badge, but yeah, we're out here just trying to get any information. It is somber, I can tell you, here at Camp Mystic, but Casey, it's all hands on deck.
Yeah, Peyton, you talked about your trek, and I wonder how you guys got there, because we obviously initial reports were that roads were washed out. They couldn't even access it because of debris, which is why there had to be so many of those evacuated by air, by those helicopter baskets. What was it like? How difficult was it for y'all to get through?
I can definitely see how yesterday and Friday helicopters were absolutely needed to get these girls and these people to safety. Today the water has receded, and as that water has receded, you know, we can get across the bridge, but you can see just how high up the debris was on these trees. You have tires that are in the tops of the trees. So you can see why they were not able to get to these girls and get to the people immediately, and they had to bring in those choppers. But today it has receded, but at the same time, it's also dark and devastating to just see how high up the water was and how high up the debris is in the top of the trees, that now everyone's searching.
Yeah,
mattress in the tree?
Devastating, just maybe an understatement.
I see it.
As you do look live at that mattress, just eerily hanging from a tree branch. And, you know, obviously spent a lot of time at disasters myself as a correspondent through the years at Fox News. And one thing that always kind of haunted me was going into neighborhoods after those flash floodwaters had receded and seeing the line on the exterior of the home where the water had been. So since there's a lot of structures not even around there, those trees sort of serve as a benchmark to show you how high the water was, and to think that, you know, 36 hours ago, Peyton, where you're standing right now was covered with rushing water. Dylan Federico again is here with us here at the desk. I'm just narrating this for you again, folks watching us on Fox Digital and our streaming platforms. This is a different format, okay? This is not a traditional polished newscast where everything is quick, sharp. This is live. This is happening as we are on the air. We are watching this with you, the viewer. So I'm pointing things out that we don't normally point out on a newscast. But Peyton, obviously, and her photographer, John Gannan, are in the middle of hell on earth right now. So they don't have the best signals, and they don't have images in return, as we call it, and things like that. So that's why I'm describing everything to you, Peyton. Dylan is here, and Dylan had some questions for you as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a layered question. Talking to people down there that may have been around Camp Mystic, was there any sense that there was a flood threat the day before the flood occurred? And also, did anybody get any kind of a warning about flooding that night, or was the only thing that happened was as they woke up to the floodwaters rapidly rising? Did you get any kind of a sense of how that evolved that night?
I cannot speak for the Camp Mystic girls and the counselors, but speaking to people around the area, we've driven through neighborhoods that are completely wiped. I mean, it is the bottom of the house and it's completely gone. From what I've heard is there was the alarm on your phone, a ping on your phone that came around 2 a.m. Some people took that seriously, and some people were like, oh, I don't know, what's going to happen. But as the water started to come in, people became more concerned. And then I'm being told that it came in a matter of minutes. So I've heard that they did get a warning. Some people did get a warning on their phone initially when it was happening around that 2 a.m., 3 a.m. time. And then they had to make a decision. As for the day before, which I believe was Thursday, that's July 3rd, from when I'm talking from locals in the area and people who were visiting for July 4th, they knew rain was coming. They knew a July 4th, their holiday, maybe a wet weekend, maybe have some rainy forecast. But I do not believe anyone expected any of this. Speaking with some people who were at that RV park over in Ingram, Texas, just a few south of the river, again, they told me they were closing up the restaurant. It closes at 2 a.m. And as they were closing up the restaurant, they did get the alerts on their phone. And then within the next hour,
so they weren't
the RV park was underwater.
Okay, so they just
So
happened to be
I do
up
think
that
a lot
late.
of people were sleeping.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback on what you were saying there, Peyton, you know, looking at the history, there's a history of deadly flooding along that river. I believe in 1987, there was a terrible flood that happened on the Guadalupe River, but also back in 1932, there was another terrible flood. So I'm just surprised that they're, you know, and we'll have conversations about this later. Obviously, the focus right now is on search and recovery, but you know, with this area having a history of being prone to flooding, you know, I think in the future we'll have to look at maybe more precautions being put into place down there. So we'll just continue to monitor that in the meantime.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to add, I did speak with a family yesterday in Kerrville who had a home and was living here in 87. And he said the water came up to his house, but this time around on July 4th, the water was in his house up to his thigh. So he now has lived through both and said that this was almost unbelievable. Also, last night before I went to sleep, Governor Abbott posted on X, he was able to tour Camp Mystic here in Hunt, Texas, and he was told that the water on some of the cabins was above some of the cabins. The water was above some of the cabins. So you can just imagine how quickly the water rose here at Camp Mystic.
Yeah, and also, and just to kind of add on to that, Peyton, it's not just that the water rose. I think the thing that people have to understand too, and you can see it with the trees behind you, that water was moving violently fast. And it doesn't matter how strong of a swimmer you are, you don't stand a chance with water moving that fast, and it's very hard to get out of water moving that. So once the water rose, I mean, it swept everything, you know, that was there away, and it just, you know, with it being at night. And also the other thing is too, you know, there's been a lot of discussion about warnings and getting alerts to people, but this couldn't have happened at a worse time of the year. This is literally a worst case scenario. 4th of July, a lot of people down there, and happening at the middle of the night as well. So it's just unimaginably bad and literally a worst case scenario type of situation.
Dylan, to your point about that, I just want to, you know, point out that you know, when we talk about the middle of the night and very little warning, how terrifying that must have been for those little kids. Peyton, on your background there, could you have John show us or go back into the debris, the blankets and things that looked to be hanging out of the window of that cabin on the campgrounds there? Because, you know, we've heard of
the windows.
Yeah, we've heard some reports, you know, that some of these cabins may have been swept away entirely, but then we've seen the pictures that have made the rounds on social media. There you go. If we could zoom into that. Boy, I mean, that also goes to show you, you know, what was going on in the middle of the night. We've heard reports of camp counselors busting those windows because the cabins themselves started filling up so fast. The bark is stripped from the trees. That was eerie yesterday in your report where you were, from structures that were banging up against the trees. Peyton, how are you holding up down there, talking to everybody and seeing this up close? I mean, this is just about as hard as it gets.
Yeah, and you see those photos from the cabins and of the girls, but seeing it in person is very emotional. Especially, I can't see that far. Is that a pillow that's in the window?
It looks
or
like a
sleeping
pillow
bag?
or a sleeping bag or something
whatever it is
Maybe pink.
absolutely an eerie image. Yeah, and it's pink. So, I mean, you see T-shirts in the trees. So, you know, the girls have their T-shirts just laid out for the
look,
week,
blankets.
excited for the
Blankets.
weekend, and now they're all in the trees. So, yeah.
Oh, Peyton. Just agony for people and the unknown.
We're seeing this. Yeah, and we're seeing this all the way down the Guadalupe River. These trees that are now completely horizontal, like Dylan mentioned, the force of that rushing water. This site of these trees being horizontal is all the way down the river, Ingram into Kerrville and beyond. So these first responders are having to go through these horizontal trees, these mangled trees, and cars in the trees, mattresses in the trees, to just try to find hopefully any of these missing people.